Yeah, sorry.
Goodbye to Poland.
Sorry.
Of course, yes.
Yes, I did not mean collectively in the sense the majority decides. The laws ultimately decides how the society, in which direction it goes. If you say, yes, collectively, that homosexuality is a crime. In India it is, where I come from.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That will definitely lead a society to a downturn. Okay, if you say you're allowed to rape, okay, you can do it. It's not right or wrong, but ultimately where the society is going to head, it's going to destroy itself. And that's what decides.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
I
nice
agree
speaking
with
to
you.
you.
Appreciate
You're
that.
from, where are you from? Basically?
I was born in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you look like a
Indian.
Indian.
India wale hum bhi. Yeah,
I'm
my
traveling
parents.
from Mumbai. So.
Are you from Mumbai? Yeah, Maharashtra. We are from Gujarat.
Okay.
Yeah, near Surat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You, what about you?
From Pakistan.
Pakistan. I'm traveling. This is like last day in London.
Oh, is it? It's a pleasure meeting you. Have a safe journey home, okay? Yeah? So, sorry. Walaikum salam.
Long time,
How are you?
okay.
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. You okay? Sorry, brother. You were saying before you were... it's option, yeah.
Yeah, well, basically you were saying that I think the question you were asking was about objective morality.
Yeah.
Because you were saying why is, in a nutshell, what you were saying is why is
To let you know, I'm a non-vegetarian.
No problem, no worry.
non-vegetarian.
It's about
But
learning,
there's a-
isn't it?
Yeah. So it's an argument, and this
Absolutely.
argument
You
happens
want to
all
see
the
both
time
sides.
within the society in
Yes.
India.
Yeah.
And I was born, lineage is a non-vegetarian. I
Okay.
don't know whether you have heard of a Brahmin or...
Yeah, of course.
So we are not supposed to eat non-vegetarian, but we have been always eating it. So I just thought I'll...
No problem at all. Look after yourself. Yeah, sorry, objective morality.
yeah, well, from what I understand, what we were talking about was basically he's trying to get people to stop eating meat because it hurts the. From what I understand, it hurts.
Yeah,
the
he says from the
overall
victim's
world.
perspective, yeah.
Which I kind of agree with.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hurting something, so there is
Yeah.
a moral responsibility.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's trying to
Yeah.
raise the awareness and change
Yes.
the morality.
Yeah.
And you were saying, well, from what I understand is, why is it truly wrong to kill
Yeah.
the animal and hurt it? And if different societies, the other guy that was there was
Yeah.
saying that it's collective,
Yes.
kind of conscious, gradual
Yeah.
change. But I'm not sure I agree with that because that's
No.
basically based on democracy
Absolutely.
and
yeah.
majority.
It makes it a problem.
So I don't know. Then your point was then it must come from an arbiter, like
Yeah.
a rulemaker.
I said there has to be something, that will arbitrate between two positions.
Yes.
And which one is the correct one?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple of points. One is that if we remove because that brings religion into the situation, or it brings something we don't know about into the situation
Okay.
in a way.
I understand, yeah.
So if we ignore that for a moment,
Yeah.
generally we don't know where morality comes from. Definitely scientifically we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. So you're asking us for something we don't really have much knowledge of. So he doesn't know
Yeah, of course. I
where
understood.
morality comes
Yeah,
from, but what he's doing is still raising the morality. So he's taking part in morality. But the other point about an arbiter is if I, for example, if I think about it, if I murder someone, and the judge asks me why did I do that, and I tell them my father did that. My father did that. Then killing someone is you could say that's a kind of objective morality because I'm getting my rules from my father, but it led me to kill someone. So in my head I could think it's correct and true, but it's not actually the right thing to do. Right?
Yeah.
So the other point is that if there is an arbiter or someone giving us the rules, then isn't that an oxymoron? Because morality isn't someone giving you rules. That's not the definition of morality, is it? I mean, if the reason you're doing something is because someone told you, that's not morality. That's following rules.
Okay.
So it's kind of confusing for me.
Right. I can see what you mean. Sorry, brother. I'm Shabir. You are?
Kashif.
Kashif. Nice
Shabir.
meeting you, brother. Yeah. Actually, you see, if you look at it, Kashif, the confusion will lie on the issue of morality. If the very definition of morality was governed, how would you view it?
If it was governed.
Yes, if the definition. So, for example, just using your example, if you kill someone, and the judge asks you why, you said, well, my father used to do it, so I did it.
Right.
Yeah. The judge says, well, issue is cut it there and rewind the tape, as it were, Kashif, and you will find the very reason you ended up before the judge was because it was already determined to be a criminal offense.
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be hauled up before the judge.
Right.
Yeah? But it seems blatantly obvious that in that example, or that scenario, you were not aware that this is what happens if you kill someone.
What if it's not a judge? What if it's just someone asking you?
Let's say it's somebody asking you.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are asking you why did you do it, for inquiry purposes or to determine whether what you did was correct or not.
Right.
Yeah. So again, these are elements which would introduce themselves depending on who the judge is. Yeah. But if you to address the issue that you raised about objective morality. Okay. Let's agree first. What would we consider to be morality?
I would say it's a scale between good and bad. So anything in between that scale.
Excellent. But good and bad determined by whom?
It's a good question. So I would say we don't really know. We don't really know.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that we have some inkling about it. I mean, there's some, for example, we wouldn't have a society if we start from basics.
Yeah.
For example, how can I say killing children is wrong? How can I say that?
Yeah.
Objectively. I mean, I can say it subjectively.
Yeah.
But objectively, it's true. I don't have a real source. I don't know where it comes from. But there's some evidence to suggest that it is objective because everyone does it. I mean, we wouldn't have a society if we killed people. And it's independent. We find it in other societies are flourishing because they applied that rule. So it doesn't wholly explain objective morality, but it gives some inkling that there is a universal moral that people are applying innately somehow to live their lives. So it doesn't explain it completely.
Agreed. But you see, the very notion of something being innate, can be subject to a lot of disagreement.
Right.
What I mean by that is, you see, what we consider to be good right now was not considered to be good 50 years ago.
Yes.
Now, if we were to address the issue, I mean, just the example we were using earlier on, homosexuality was only legalized in 1967 in this country. Prior to 1967, it was illegal, so it was frowned upon.
Right.
Overnight, once the law passed, did it suddenly become good?
It was a gradual process.
There was a process, wasn't there? Even up to this day, despite it being legal, you have what are known as homophobic actions against people. Yeah? Why? What's happened to this objective morality?
Well, it's up to people if they. Do you mean there are still people who go against the law or against?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Yes. No, I agree.
But what's happened to the objective morality element? You see, because if it was innate in every, then it shouldn't happen like that, should it? It seems like a lot of societal conditioning is taking place.
Did you see the recent case? A burglar went into the home and the guy killed him.
Yes.
No prosecution.
They decided not to prosecute
Before
against
that,
him.
you can't do that. There
No,
was a law here. If somebody went
of
into
course.
the property, you cannot even forcefully send him away.
I mean, that's
But now a burglar went into the property. The guy killed him. He's dead. and police arrested him and released him.
Yeah. We can
What
perhaps say
about
that,
morality?
yeah.
Morality in,
Yeah.
in a very certain space of
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Again,
is changed.
as he's pointed out, there seems to be an overlap between what we would consider to be a moral action and a legal action.
Yes.
Yeah? One, the legal action automatically supersedes or overrides the moral aspect. So, for example, a guy traveling all the way to another part of the country just to go and kill someone, on the basis of what? What he thought to be true.
You're talking about the burglar.
No, another case, yeah? But just as an example, you see, the issue now comes, if the legal element supersedes and overrides the moral aspect, then where do we actually position morality in our system of life?
But it's a good question, but I think you need the law or justice to govern a society, and the law needs to get a source of morality, and it gets it from the society. So it's kind of circular. I agree.
It seems like circular.
Yes.
But now, suppose you had a legal system. The legal system. What if the legal system also incorporated an element of morality?
But it already does not.
Does it?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Up to a certain time, adultery was a criminal offense in this country.
I think it's a separate. Hang on. I think you're making a separate argument because in law it's
Yes.
illegal to kill, let's say, a child, an innocent child.
No, it's illegal to kill any person unjustly.
Unjustly, but to make it less ambiguous and get rid of the variables, let's make that person a innocent child for the example.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's illegal to kill an innocent child, because if it's if it's an unjust person, we could then argue about what is just and not just, what situation were they killed in, what were the motives, was it self-defense, etc., etc.
Okay.
So if we make it, if we try and get rid of as many variables as we can,
Yeah.
and make it an innocent child.
Sorry, can I stop you there, Kashif? You see, we live in a terrible world.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So terrible that if a child turned up here and had a strap on him, what would we do?
You mean it had a bomb strapped to him? He was about to
What would we do?
explode. We would try and stop him.
How?
I get what you're saying. If I had a gun, I would.
Are you? Okay, look after yourself. Inshallah.
We'll see you next week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, inshallah. Yeah.
Okay, you be good, okay?
And you too. Safe journey. Yeah,
I understand
sorry.
what you're saying. I agree with you.
Can you see?
Yeah,
the
but what
problem here is that the variable has come in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of all of this.
I understand what you mean. But unfortunately, whatever we look at, we will find that the situation is getting to a stage where no matter how much we want to put the effort in to remove, the variables, we just cannot. So the reason I used adultery was that it was a moral crime. It wasn't considered a legal crime. To that extent that now adultery is not a legal crime. However, the 5 what you would call legal reasons to get divorced, one of them is adultery.
Right.
But that's a moral aspect.
Yes.
Why has it been included in? Why not just criminalize the act? Now these are obvious questions which had been asked, which were gone over, but there is still an element of morality within the law.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
there is.
Yeah.
The question is why?
Because that's what we're using to guide our actions.
Now, agreed.
Yeah.
Now let's take it to the point of origin. What would that be?
The origin of morality.
The origin of everything that we try to establish. If we take, for example, morality, take it to the point of where we can say 0 and it started. Where would that be?
Morality.
Morality. Because if we look at it from the evolutionary perspective, then it is relatively recent, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't think, I agree with you that we're gradually changing the law and what is moral in this society.
Yes.
I agree with you. But my point was that it's possible that there is an objective morality, and we are in the process of revealing it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, the fact that it's changing doesn't necessarily mean that there is still not an objective morality underlying it.
I agree. Are we suggesting perhaps
Yeah.
that what we are talking about in terms of objective morality somehow transcends our processes of thinking?
Okay.
Otherwise, it can't be objective, can it?
Yeah.
Now, there's an issue. It's a big problem. Sorry.
No, that's, yeah,
All right, yeah.
If it transcends our thinking, then how?
Sorry?
So no, keep going.
no,
I don't-
please. Yeah, don't
It's
worry.
like 1 plus 1 is 2. Even if humans exist or not, it would still be true. Yeah.
We have come to an agreement. Mathematically, it is 2.
Yes.
But there are people who will say they can prove it is 3.
I don't know those
Honestly,
people.
Kashif.
But there's different people.
Yeah.
Different people.
Yeah.
But believe different.
Absolutely. But this is where the issue arises. To me, when we look at the morality argument,
Yeah.
we suddenly open up a whole can of worms because it all stems to one thing only. Rather, it stems from one thing only. That point of origin is what we have a problem with. Where did this aspect of morality in us arise from?
Yes.
We consider some of it being innate.
Yes.
Why? If we look at it from the evolutionary perspective, the very basis of our existence was based on the premise that, from the evolutionary, what was it? What was the premise?
Premise of evolution.
Yeah, survival.
Right.
Nothing else, but it was survival. Now, if for survival we have to do X, Y, and Z, we will do it. If for survival, yes, we preempt a potential threat, is that valid?
It depends on what do you mean? What is the action?
If, for example, a country, yes,
Yeah.
we consider a country to, sorry, brother, we consider a country to be a potential threat. We haven't got the evidence to establish the threat, but we merely consider it to be a potential threat, and we take preemptive action against the country. Is there any morality aspect in here?
Yes.
There is. Is it immoral?
Well, it depends. I mean, if they're sending missile, if they're about to drop a nuclear bomb on you,
Right. I just told you there's no evidence to suggest
Then I
that
would
they are
say
a
it's-
threat. But we strike on a preemptive basis.
right? So they in actual fact are not we're not gonna harm us.
There was no evidence to suggest that they were going to.
Yeah, then I would say it's still a little bit ambiguous because you may have got misinformation or your intent may have been you may have thought you're about to get attacked.
You may have thought that,
Yeah.
or you may have had an altogether different plan just to attack.
If that's the case, then of course
It can be,
of
can't
course,
it?
yeah.
But again, you see, the aspects of morality, if we were to introduce them into this kind of discussion,
Yes.
we are going to be hit with a serious problem.
What do you mean?
Yeah? If I am powerful,
Yeah.
my morality counts better than yours if you are not as powerful as me.
I'm getting a little confused because
Okay, the preemptive strike,
yes,
okay? It's already happened, hasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah? The premise was, what would you call that? Weapons of mass destruction.
okay.
It's a real situation. Yeah? What happened?
You're talking about Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
They thought they had weapons, and on that basis they attacked. But in actual fact, they didn't find any evidence of any weapons.
Now, before the attack, they sent in inspectors.
Right.
The inspectors came back with a report that there is no such thing. Why was that report overridden?
Oh.
I know we are just for the
We're going
purpose
into
of
a
discussion
tangent, but
because we don't know.
I
But
will
the
entertain.
central point is,
Okay.
what did they do? The experts you have sent in to come back with a
No,
report.
I know that they wanted to have made anyway.
Exactly. No matter what they decided, they were going. They went.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
but
Public
people would
was
say that was immoral, and that's why Tony Blair is unpopular these days.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. You see, the word immoral came in,
Yeah.
but that was a legal decision they made. because the Attorney General was consulted and he gave the legal permission to attack.
But a thing can be legal but immoral.
That's what I said.
That's the difference. You know, when we come back to as it were round circle.
I feel like I said.
Yeah, it is. Because now we have to accept that the legal position overrides and supersedes the moral position.
Could we say that a good law, a good legal system would be based on good morals?
A good legal system will incorporate the two to develop laws and rules that are the most effective for all human beings concerned. That's the position.
Can you repeat that?
You know, the brother just talked about laws. I'm saying the most effective legal system would be one which will incorporate the moral and the legal aspect for the benefit of all human beings.
Yes.
That's the position we have to try and arrive at. And you know what you said? You know what you said? Perhaps there is an objective morality which we are moving towards.
Yes.
We will do it. We will do it. But in the process, we ask ourselves a simple question. Is there potentially a position where we can establish that and start changing the situation that we are faced with? Or will we say, right, let nature take its course to a particular situation where after many upheavals, we will arrive at what we would call objective morality.
Right. I mean, if we don't have an. I mean, what this guy is doing is exactly that.
He's raising an issue.
But it's gradually.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how you raise awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But to me, what I always say is, look, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But we are going to come to a position where you are going to have two opposing parties. Yeah. There's an impasse. How would you resolve that impasse? In countries like the United Kingdom, what we do is that if we have a position where we are talking about something which potentially can lead to confrontation, violent or otherwise, okay, then the lawmakers will decide to step in. They will have their consultations about potentially either decriminalizing something or criminalizing something. The Race Relations Act came into force. Why? Because things were happening to people of a different skin color, so they decided, look, we need to do something about this. And have the full weight of the law in favor of the victim. You know, the victim as he was talking about.
I don't think it's that simple.
No, it isn't. It isn't as simple as that.
If we take something that has already changed, that was different before, like race, then the reason it changed is quite complicated. It was people had to raise awareness of it.
Yes.
And then there was a bunch of activity.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that the law had to intervene when people of different colour were being harmed.
Yeah.
It was they had now reached a level where they saw them as human beings who deserved their rights. And where did that come from? It would be from an amalgamation of societal events, which is difficult for us to investigate.
But you're right. But you know what he did in the process? It threw a division between the races.
Yes.
Total. Something that you can't actually repair now. If you think about it, the position is this, I'm a human being, you're a human being, the brother here is a human being, the brother here is a human being. Third party comes in, guys, what are you? What would we say? Why couldn't we say, well, I'm a brown person, he's a white person, why wouldn't we say, why naturally, and you're right, why would we say human beings? Because that's what we are.
Right.
Logically. Now, my position is this, that where you have different colors, and there is a gentleman there talking about it, the moment you use the word race, you brought in an additional element which may perhaps not have been there. But as you pointed out, the idea behind the Race Relation Act and any relevant statutes, were to make crimes against a certain ethnicity, a criminal offense.
But I don't think that's true. I think the racial relation that there was people it doesn't say, like, if you attack me just because I was white,
Yes.
that should be a crime as well. I think it is a crime under the...
This
yes.
is it. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the Race Relations Act invented the concept of
No,
race.
no, of
you
course
know.
not. No,
I think
no.
There was a problem.
It was already there.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there was a problem, wasn't there?
Yeah,
And
of
then the
course.
government intervenes.
Yeah.
And I suppose the question is, when does the government intervene and when it doesn't? Like, if people are being irritating, or,
Yeah,
you know,
true.
should there be a law against that, or should be a law against,
Absolutely.
you know, you have to decide where is an action, like there's lots of actions that might be immoral that aren't subject to the law.
True.
It's only immoral actions, I think, that impact significantly
Absolutely.
on other people.
But you know, brother, my position is that any understanding that I want to develop, okay, in relation to my interaction with human beings and animals, should be one where I have got something inside which will be used as the yardstick, rather than relying on something objective or external like law, to make me do something. Are you following?
But I don't think it's just. I think law enforces it.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it's also getting its yardstick from morality, which is. I think we haven't really figured. I think we really haven't cracked where morality comes from. How.
For myself, I mean, I think there is an objective morality.
Yeah.
I quite like the word immanent, just in the human condition.
Yeah.
Because, yes,
Yeah.
it means embedded in,
You know what
embedded
we
in the way
call
the world is.
innate.
Yeah. So the fact that we have consciousness means that if you kill us, you know, that creates suffering. The fact that we're capable of feeling suffering, you could therefore say anything that causes unnecessary suffering. That would be a kind of moral yardstick that you could apply at any time and to different situations.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that there's probably, you need more than one moral yardstick, but I think they are out there.
Yeah, yes, they are.
And they could be uncovered by rational thought.
Yeah, true. I mean, there is an effort that has to be put in. Yeah, and we all know that we come across certain things in life which to us would seem as though it's not right. Okay. But then when we look at the fuller picture, we realize, well, actually, it was right. Yeah, we have, for example, killing. Yeah, we know that killing someone we feel is not right. We feel is not right. Okay, but if the person seems to be one who is potentially threatening your or your family's life, then that feeling changes. Yeah, you are thinking, right, mate? Listen, stay. Yeah, don't come any closer. If you, I'm going to have to do what I need to do. So the element of self-preservation overrides this feeling that we have.
I agree, but it's not just a feeling. Surely it's a rational argument. You know, you can't kill someone for no reason if it's self-defense. That's different. That seems to be an objective. You know, it's a thing.
I agree with you. But if we were to take this individual thought onto a societal and a state level, what happens?
Are we going back to Iraq?
No, any state.
So
the moment they decide, okay, that country or that group of people are game to kill, then the thing changes again.
No, but that's international morality. There's an idea of like self-determination, but you shouldn't interfere in another country
agreed.
unless that country is going to
Yeah, agreed. I mean, to be honest with you, you know what? If we go back about 40, 50 years, the idea of the sovereignty of the state was paramount. Many countries respected that. But to be honest with you, nowadays I think all that has just gone out of the window. Okay, it's unfortunately who has got the might, is going to determine who is right, sort of thing.
Can I give you a more optimistic outlook? You know, when we were strong in Britain, we went around the world and we just invaded everywhere.
Yeah, conquered everything.
And took anything we wanted. And I feel there has been some improvement in that. Even somewhere like Iraq, I mean, I was totally against it. But to be fair, we went there, we came home again, we're not occupying them, do you know what I mean?
There's an improvement.
Yes.
There's
Last
an
time we
improvement.
went to Iraq,
we
were
just
there
stay.
for 60 years,
Yeah, you're right. There is an improvement, yeah. But it is good. It is good. We are hoping that we come to a position where human beings coexist. Yeah. We are all after the same thing in life. Yeah. Nothing changes there.
I tell you, I was thinking of I was speaking to someone the other day, and they were putting forward kind of a theistic case for morality.
Yes.
That you need some kind of objective morality, and that only comes from God, is what they were saying. And I had this argument, which is, how do you know if God is good or bad?
Yeah.
If there was a God, but he was an evil God, you wouldn't be right in following him or following his precepts.
Yeah.
So even if there is a God, it seems to me you still need some objective morality.
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Even God has to be measured against this objective yardstick.
Absolutely. But I was talking to a brother there earlier on, and I said to him the same thing. I said, you see, the problem here is the way we are thinking. Yeah. If for 2 minutes, I told him, I said, let's work this. Number one, do we think there's a creator? If the answer is in the affirmative, then logic will tell you there can't be another creator. There can only be one. Logic. Yeah? Once we have established that, then logic again is going to dictate that if there is a creator, we are looking at everything that we know about right now. Yeah? Then logic is also dictating to me that the creator is definitely more powerful than me. Logically speaking. Yeah?
I would quibble about that, but keep going.
No problem. But the whole of the universe, everything within it, if a creator created it, I can't even lift a 1 ton something, so logically speaking, has to be more powerful. Third question then would arise, that if 1, there is a creator, 2, more powerful than me, 3, was there potential for communication to take place? And if there was, then logically speaking, it would have to be from the creator to the creation and not the other way around.
This is all contingent on if
it is, but that is why we would have to assess the evidence, if there is any. Okay? But the logic still applies. And finally, I would suggest this, that if we come to the conclusion that some form of communication could take place, may have taken place, or has taken place.
And what is that, extraterrestrials?
Possibly. Yeah. So there is a possibility that we then need to re-evaluate the way we think about the creator. Of course. What I mean by that is that if we want to determine whether the creator is evil or good, okay, then logic will dictate that the creator has to determine that for you, not the other way around.
Yes, but that just becomes circular.
How?
If the creator decides what's good and bad, then how do you know if the creator himself is good or bad?
Brilliant.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be. You know what I just did? I did a sequence of questions.
Yeah.
There is a creator. So we have established what you just said first. Once we have got to that stage, logic will automatically apply to us. Yeah, as the brother just pointed out, it can be extraterrestrials. But that is again something that needs to be assessed and addressed on an evidential perspective. Yeah. Now, if we have answered yes to all these questions, then logic automatically will tell you that whatever is going to have taken place in terms of communication between the created entity and the creator, logic will dictate that only then the creator will tell you what is and what isn't. You can't suddenly decide on how you can think like that. Are you following?
Well, no, not well. I don't think you've kind of answered my question.
Okay.
That how do we decide whether the creator is good or bad?
I just said
because if he's not good,
right,
we would be wrong.
Okay, no problem. I see. I'll just repeat what I said. I said first we would have to establish if there is a creator.
Yeah.
If we have done that, logic will tell us there can't be another creator.
I don't agree with that. But
okay.
But what is good and bad? Because if you look in nature, right?
Yeah.
Example, we eat chickens. Some people eat chicken, right? Yeah. It's good for the human being, bad
Don't
for the
tell
chicken.
them you eat chicken.
That's
bad
a
for the
good
chicken.
one. Bad for the chicken.
Yeah.
We eat cows, bad for the cows.
That's it.
It's true.
So
Yeah.
what is good and bad?
Yeah.
Is a concept that man has made up,
Yes.
and we've given it definition in the Oxford Dictionary, Collins Dictionary, whatever dictionary you want to put it in.
Yeah. That's
So-
what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly
Right.
what we are talking about. Yeah, but
yeah.
can you see, when you say the creator, you beg to differ. I'm thinking, well, the very definition of the word creator means you can't have another creator. However, if you tell me that, look, somebody created that building, yeah, I would say, well, actually, no. Somebody thought of the idea, developed the idea, and constructed it.
Yeah.
Not a creator. Because we are talking different here. The creator we are talking about is from zero, everything came. Anything subsequent is the idea of somebody thinking of something, getting it done with a lot of effort with other people. Yeah? But, so you find that, okay, there can't be another one.
I mean, see, I would say there could be a creator that created the creator, that created the creator, that created that.
Excellent. I'll tell you why you can't think like that.
Yeah.
The very definition of the word creator is what?
Someone who creates something.
What's the definition?
If, you're right, if there's a creator,
Yeah.
yeah? Now think about the universe here, yeah? The creator created the universe.
Right.
Definition of a creator is what now?
Someone who creates something.
No. Can I?
you
You
just tell
can't.
me, you just tell me.
No. Can I create a camera?
I'm really not sure where you're going with this. I'll say yes.
If I say I developed the camera, what's the difference?
Right. Do you mean physically made it?
Yeah, physically.
Or
Physically.
designed it? Or came up with the idea?
Excellent.
Or drew
Came
a
up with the
picture of
idea.
it? Yes.
Came up with the idea.
Yeah.
He designed it.
Yeah.
You built it.
Yeah.
Who is the creator?
Well, I would say all three of us.
Are we creators?
I don't really
We
see
aren't.
what
We
you
aren't.
make it.
Exactly.
Interesting
The
point.
point I just made. You see, the difference comes. But let's just move one forward.
Yeah.
Let us assume there is a creator.
Oh, I don't mind assuming that. I just say that it doesn't
Of course, I
follow
understand. I
logically.
understand. Yeah. Okay. Then the second question is: if there is a creator,
Yeah.
would there have been a communication
Right.
between the creator and the created
Again,
entity?
we have no idea.
Possibly. We don't know.
Yeah.
We are just following through. Suppose we establish that.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we have to come to the third one. Okay. Do we know that the creator is the most powerful according to our logic? Because we are assuming there is one creator. We know he's powerful. Then communication would have had to have taken place. If communication had taken place, logic now is telling me that I am a created entity. Yeah? And the creator created everything.
Yeah.
Logic is now telling me that it can only be logical and reasonable that the creator communicates to me about the creator. Logical?
Yeah.
It doesn't leave room for me to decide whether God is a good God or an evil God.
No, but surely, see, it does. I mean, there's so many. The problem with that, there's so many flaws in the logic. I
Such
don't mean
as?
like you're
No, I
super, but,
understand.
you know, but just
Such
like,
as?
well, for instance, the creator is more powerful than the creation. That doesn't actually follow. I mean, I could create a tank, and the tank would be stronger than me, a military tank.
You see,
I could create something
tank
that's
is not
stronger.
self-sufficient.
I was about to say, I agree with you, but what you are missing is the distinction we made earlier on.
Yeah.
If you have all the products and you are for want of a better word, rejigging the products to come up with what you are coming up with, that doesn't make you a creator. Are you following?
We're talking about the fact that everything that we create is basically something that we reconfigure. We make something out of something.
Absolutely.
All right.
So,
And
for
you're saying
example,
yes.
look at this building.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
one building.
Yes,
No one can come here and say, I created that.
because the stone already existed. Is that what you're
Exactly.
saying? Yes, yes.
Not only that,
Yeah.
but it took 1,000 other people to help
Right.
you to
Yes,
that's
build it
right.
up. So,
But you see,
yeah.
by the same analogy, we don't know that there wasn't a whole team of creators. I mean, there
That's
could
the-
be. I'm not saying there was. but there could
You are
be.
right, but you see, that is the logic I was following.
Yeah.
If there is a creator,
Yeah.
logic is telling me the whole of the universe now. Yeah. You have just agreed with me without realizing it that if there were more than one creator,
Yeah.
okay, you would still have to rely on the creators to communicate with us.
Yeah, creators, yeah. You're right.
Creators, if you agreed with that position.
But
But up to this day, yeah, if we were to say, okay, the communication is taking place from the superior to the inferior, whether we like it or not.
See, I think that's the point. Like you're saying, whoever creates it must be superior. Again, that doesn't really follow.
It's not following because the logic here is that you think there may be more than one creator.
Well, there's lots of things. There may be more than one creator. The creator maybe isn't intelligent. Maybe, you know, you have to think
I'm
of
so
every
glad.
possibility.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's some entity
Brilliant.
that is actually, let's say, stupid,
Yeah.
but it has this power.
You're
that
right.
It hardly even realizes of making. Maybe it's a kind of childish god.
Agreed.
And he can make it. In that case, we shouldn't really. It doesn't follow that he's superior.
Your point,
Yeah.
what you have said,
Yeah.
I totally agree with. The only point you haven't potentially considered here is that whatever you have just said about the creator, creators, whoever,
Yeah.
would have to necessarily mean that they have communicated with you.
Sorry,
They would have to have communicated with you, otherwise you wouldn't know what they are like.
well, no, it's
Where are you getting the
possible.
words from?
Where are you
Speaking
getting the
right now.
information from?
Where are your thoughts coming from?
No, but the thoughts can come from me.
The thoughts, the
Who are
thoughts
you?
are coming. The thoughts are coming from you. But in terms of a superior entity, now we can agree or disagree about whether it's a superior or not. I am saying for you to apply that logic, you would necessarily have to have these, whether it's God or gods or creator, creators, whatever, to have communicated with you. Otherwise, you can't. It's all speculation that you are relying on.
No, I think I can say, I think you're starting the wrong end with respect. I think I can say that I can speak. I do have a consciousness and I
Yes.
can speak.
Yes.
I can't automatically assume that the power of words came from a creator.
But what do you know about your own thought process?
I mean,
Have you ever analysed your own thoughts?
a little bit, yeah,
A little bit?
yeah.
Are you honest about your own thoughts?
Quite honest,
We
yeah.
hope so. We hope so.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
I think, well, there's two things really. I can exist without a creator, it seems to me. I can exist with a creator that isn't interested in me. I can exist with a creator that's actually now dead.
All
You
these,
know, there's so many
excellent. All these
possibilities.
possibilities, again, hinge.
Yeah.
They hinge on one thing only.
Yeah.
Have you had communication from the creator?
No.
Well, so how it's all speculation.
Yes, exactly.
But
There may be a
now,
creator, maybe not, maybe
okay,
not.
you can see when I started the thought process,
Yeah.
I said we have established there is a creator, then we have established he is powerful because of the logic.
But,
Logic.
sir, to be fair, we haven't established anything like that.
Okay, let's turn it
We've
around.
actually established the opposite. He could be clever, he could be stupid, he could be interested, he could be disinterested,
Yeah.
he could be alive, he could be dead.
No, what you are.
What I find
Sorry.
when I speak to, I'm guessing you're a Muslim.
Shabir.
Shabir,
Yeah.
Andy. I'm just
Andy,
guessing
nice
you're
meeting you.
Muslim.
He's Kashif.
All right.
He's
Marcus.
nice meeting you, Marcus. Shabir.
What I find is I often hear this argument, you know, there has to be a creator of the universe, that I don't really agree with, and then they go very quickly, it has to be one, it has to be unbegotten,
Yeah.
you know, and they kind of narrow it down
Yes.
without really having any justification for narrowing it down in that way.
Right, I agree with you. However, you will notice I didn't do that. What I did do is I said, let's go through this thought process.
All right, okay.
If there is a creator, I said, the whole of the universe, okay, logic is telling me, yeah?
Yeah.
Whole of the universe created by the creator, then logic automatically determines there can't be more than one creator. Now, you said, well, there might be more than one. I said, I can agree with you. But let's move on. Whatever these creator or creators are, necessarily and logically speaking, are definitely more powerful than us.
Right.
Logically speaking.
Well, it depends what they have the power to create a universe and we don't.
Well,
So
if they had the power, logically speaking, to create us, we can't really say we are equal to them, can we?
well, we might be morally superior to them, but physically
Again,
But what is exactly? What is morals?
No, who created the brain for you to be able to think morally?
Well, you see, I think my brain evolved. See?
That outlook, you see,
And
you
if
are.
I think I was made.
I understand.
I mean, I think if
Yeah.
if you believe in the Quran and Adam and Eve were made by God, so that's why I can speak.
Yeah.
But look, we think a lot of things, but what do we really know?
True.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're saying.
That's what we are addressing.
We have
You
to
are-
have,
but-
we have
but
to
can-
keep all our options
Right, but
open.
can you see, when you said the brain evolved,
Yeah.
if I were to respond and say, okay, no problem, the creator allowed it because the creator created it that way, what would your response be?
Well, that's a possibility.
Excellent.
That's a possibility.
There is a possibility, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you are still not ruling out the possibility,
No, there might be,
yeah,
no, not
of the
really there.
creator or the creators.
Yeah.
Well, then it moves us to the third logical position,
Yeah.
and that being, has any communication taken place between the parties?
Right. And
If the answer is no, then we are merely speculating and everything goes.
Right. Example. You know, sometimes you might be sitting down and then you might have a problem. Maybe you're working on something, whatever it may be. And all of a sudden, aha, I have the idea. Where'd that come from?
Inspiration. Yeah, but as we can see,
Yes.
whatever it is, even what the brother said, whatever we think of, we've got to accept that we are here right now. Yeah. If I were to logically take the next position,
yeah.
did communication take place? I am saying if it does, then logic again is dictating to me that I cannot determine what the communication is until the communication comes.
Yes. So let's say that the Quran, that there is let's just hypothetically.
Yeah.
We haven't sort of established anything. Let's say
No,
there is one
hypothetical.
creator, kind of like Allah, and he said to communication, which is the Quran.
Thank you. I was struggling with it. I'm thinking what to do with this. Yeah, sorry. There was one. Yeah.
And if we believe in the Quran, it still actually doesn't answer the question of is God good or bad.
But you're stuck in
I have no
polarities.
problem.
You're
But
stuck in
if
polarity.
if we were to, sorry brother, if we were to establish for the purpose of discussion,
Yeah.
for the purpose of discussion, that there was a message, there was a communication, then logic dictates that you have to look at the communication and determine whether it is or it isn't.
Yes. I agree.
Right.
Yeah, and whether God is good, bad,
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like I told a friend of mine
sure.
who was quite hairy, a lot of hair. I told him, I said, listen, don't worry about it. God is good. God is fair. To some he gave brains, to some he gave hair.
But it is
What I would say
Sorry,
to you
brother,
is,
sorry.
it seems like you're.
Hello, how are you, brother? Are you long time no see? Are you okay?
Negative
Give
and
me a few
positive.
minutes, brother.
Both of them are necessary in order to have the balance. You can't have too much positive, you can't have too much negative.
Yeah.
It's a balance. That's how everything exists
Yeah.
in a balance, in a polarity.
Quite like that idea. Yeah.
I mean, there is one
Yin and yang,
possibility.
you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So we what do we
worries,
determine good?
It
what
could
do we
be that
determine bad?
the creator
Yes. Maybe you need a bit of badness
intentionally
to
Well, it
communicated.
depends, you
help
know.
the goodness. Yeah.
Right.
The-
We are
agree
supposed
with
to
that.
make a judgment of what we think is bad.
He told us something is good and bad,
but
but
use
he
what we
told
can
us
use
the
to bet
opposite
ourselves.
as a kind of
And to
deception
gain more
or
knowledge.
test.
Okay.
Can I ask,
mean,
what
that
do
is
you
possible.
believe? Like you believe in the soul?
I agree with you. You
I
can.
believe that
But
every-
again, it stems on what the communication actually states.
Of course.
Yeah.
But also, this,
depends on
this
how
is,
you look at it.
all of this is contingent on
And I'm not
if there is a
attached to
creator.
any of them.
Agreed. Now I know that when we think about questions like this, there is an evidential element. Okay. Now again, the thought exercises we can undertake. One of the thought exercises I would undertake necessarily and logically here is this:
Serious shit. Yeah.
for me to establish there is a creator,
Yeah, you're telling me.
I will have to discount
Like in Islam,
everything in the universe and what it
you
contains
can't believe in Jesus Christ.
as a potential creator.
It doesn't make any sense because they mention Jesus Christ in the Quran. It's like you're not believing Jesus.
Why?
You can believe
Logically
he's a man,
speaking,
but
why?
You can't believe
Well,
that
because
he's-
if everything that
you know what I've
exists,
learned?
you're talking about.
You know, I've learned to do myself.
Everything.
So you need. Basically, you're asking where did it came from. So you need someone or something to have created it to exist.
The problem is
If you have something
as-
inside the
Because the man
system,
always has his
then
opinion,
you would
speculations,
still have
and
to
all
ask
of
where
a
did that
nonsense.
thing come from?
But whatever is within the system is a created entity.
See a man's face.
So logic and reason is telling me that for me to establish the existence of a creator, the first logical thing I would have to do is exclude anything and everything contained within the universe.
Yes.
So then how do you prove it?
And the words
How do I prove
How would you prove the existence of a
I don't
creator?
go through no man to get these words. You're direct.
If you are going to logically exclude what we would call the scientific basis of establishing something, yeah, how then are you going to prove the existence of a creator?
I think there's a difference between excluding everything scientific in the universe to prove there's a creator and saying that anything in the universe created.
Right, okay.
I agree with you, nothing in the universe created the universe. But that's a different statement to you can't use any scientific method in the universe to prove that there's a creator. There's two different
I
statements.
agree. You see, when I'm talking about the scientific, I'm talking about, for me,
You said scientific though. You said scientific.
yeah, I'll tell you. When I say, prove to me scientifically the existence of God, can I do that?
No.
So you have to exclude it. But the reason I'm doing that is because the very basis of science is to look at the natural world.
Yes.
And I'm excluding it totally.
But then do you not get trapped into a circular argument? Because if you use that logic,
Yeah.
then you are in everything you know is in the universe. So whatever decision you have, if you tell me there is a God, whatever reasons you give, you got them from within the universe anyway. So
Excellent point. That's the point. You see, for us to establish the existence of the Creator, if there is one, we are going to have to look at the signs that have been left. Isn't it? Logically speaking,
that's all we have.
because logic is dictating to us that anything that is within the creation can't be the Creator.
Yes.
By definition.
Logically, yeah.
Yeah, so logically speaking, the only reliance we will have are the signs, and those will come within the purview of science.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now, the logic in a lot of people I speak to here, brother, it falls there because they are saying, okay, prove to me God exists. Science doesn't allow you to think this. Science doesn't allow you to think that. I'm saying, well, no, you've got it wrong. Apply a bit of logic here. Yeah? And when you apply it, you come to the right conclusion. We've had a conversation here, Brother Kashif, but I haven't asked, what are you, atheist? I know we are with titles too much, but for the purpose of understanding our positions, what are you?
I'm not sure.
Agnostic?
It's a very interesting question. It's quite noisy.
It is very.
I'm not sure if God exists.
Yeah.
So
You are not sure God exists.
so technically it makes me agnostic.
Yes.
So
Yes.
but if you were to, it also means that I lack belief in God.
Yeah.
Which is also an atheist position.
Yes.
So it's almost like an overlap. So it's basically I'm in grey area.
Okay.
Even between
Those two.
Even between those two.
Yeah. No. Look, at the end of the day, we all have our own ways of doing things, the way of thinking. We all will arrive at a certain conclusion. Yeah.
My parents are Muslim.
Yeah.
My family is Muslim.
Right. So what is it that has made you come to this sort of position?
It's a lot
And
of,
if it's a personal one, then I don't mind. Yeah. But
it's fine.
I would love to know, honestly.
It's just that it would probably hijack the whole day if we went through the. It's a many reasons. There are many reasons.
Honestly, Kashif, I would love to hear them one day.
I don't mind talking about it.
Honestly, inshallah, I would love to. Yeah.
You mean now?
No, yeah, you just told me you take an hour, 2-3 hours, and we have to travel 250 miles here.
Wow, right.
Yeah. We come from Blackburn in Lancashire, near Manchester.
Why here?
We come once a month to talk to people about Islam.
There's nowhere in Lancashire.
There's only Speaker's Corner is only here. Right, and we do hold lectures, discussions everywhere, but here is specifically for on a Sunday. Come and talk to different types of people and different thinking.
That's also the reason I came here, because you get different views.
Exactly, yeah.
This is my first time. This is my first time here. Yeah.
Well, you'll be coming more often, I'm sure, inshallah.
Is it every Sunday?
Every Sunday. We are scheduled to be back, inshallah, not next week, the week after. The 29th, I think it is. Muhammad, the 28th we are back on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
So the 29th we will. Oh, is it the 27th?
I think it's the 27th.
Right, how are you? Alhamdulillah, you okay? Likewise. Long time. Yeah, 28th. Well, that weekend, 27 or 28 or 29. I mean, well, actually, what are we on today? 15?
Yeah.
21, 28. 28. The 28th Sunday, inshallah, we will be back here.
Okay.
How are you, Mr. Shabir?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. What about you? Are you all good?
I've seen you 2 Sundays.
I know. What can I say? Yeah, sorry. Kashif, it was a pleasure, inshallah. Sorry. No,
maybe next time.
No, definitely. Are you okay to give me your number?
You want my number?
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Mohammed, can you take brother's number, Kashif's number, please? Just take it down. Yeah.